Hi guys, this is Vinita Datta and that's Rohan Agarwal.
Hey guys.
And today we're going to be talking to you about jargons that are very, very frequently used in investments. But I'm sure most of you don't know what it means or don't know what importance they hold. So, Rohan, a lot of people have been talking about, units and that, when the markets are not doing too well, you should sell units. They throw around terms like NAVs. So, but what does this really mean? I don't think a lot of us know about it.
Sure.
So, do you want to tell people what units are and what importance they hold and what's the logic behind buying and selling when markets are up or down?
Sure, don't worry, Vinita. I got this. But yeah, sure. That's actually a great question that you've raised. A lot of now with so many people investing in mutual funds, a lot of them not with prior financial knowledge. I think it's very important that you know at least the major terms associated with how you invest, so that if you have the knowledge of that, you're able to make better investing decisions.
Okay.
So the two most important things that you hear, especially with mutual funds, is the units that you hold and something called the NAV of the mutual fund.
Right.
So in order to make a better analogy, I'm sure a lot of you must have heard about stocks.
Right.
So the units that you hold of a mutual fund is very similar to the quantity of a particular stock you hold.
Right.
So if you hold 100 units of mutual fund A, that's like owning 100 quantity of a stock.
Okay.
And the NAV, which is the net asset value of a mutual fund, is nothing but just the price of each of these units.
Okay,
so it's basically price per unit of a mutual fund, which is the same as the stock price, which is 1 unit quantity price.
Okay.
So yeah, NAV, price of the unit, and unit is the quantity of the mutual fund.
Yeah.
One thing that I must point out is, a lot of people get confused and think that a lot of time NFOs that come that have say 10 rupees as the starting NAV, it has no bearing. So a lot of people buy that thinking, "Arey, ye to sasta hai."
Sasta hai, exactly.
Compared to a ongoing mutual fund that might have the NAV as 100.
Right.
But that has no bearing on your return. So don't get confused by that. What influences your return is the difference between the NAV when you sell your units and the NAV when you bought your units.
Right.
That's all that matters. So say if you bought your units at 10 and say if they go 10% up, which is, and you sell at 11. So all that matters is what you gain is the 11 minus 10 into the amount of units that you hold. So never get fooled by lower NAVs. That doesn't matter. What matters is the growth of the NAV, no matter at what point it starts. And it's not influenced by the NAV starting from a lower this thing or a higher NAV. So that's one thing that you must always remember. So a lot of times in in markets where the market's falling, a lot of people suggest you to buy more. Or if someone panics and sells, what does that mean?
Yeah, exactly.
So what happens is when the markets fall, the NAV of a mutual fund reduces. It's like the price of a stock reducing.
Okay.
So say if you bought your mutual fund, you bought 100 units at 100 rupees each.
Okay.
And the market fell and the NAV decreased to say 90 rupees.
Okay.
Now if you sell at that point of time, you have a loss of the 10 rupee NAV difference into the number of units that you hold. But if you actually buy at that point of time, you increase the number of units that you hold, which is the quantity of the mutual fund, and also your average NAV, purchase NAV reduces. So because you're buying at 90 and you previously bought at 100, say if you bought the same quantity, your average price would then become 95. So in the future, say whenever you sold at say 120, instead of making a gain of 20, that was 120 minus 100, you would make a gain of 25 per unit that you
That's
made.
awesome.
Yeah. So basically, why people tell you to buy more mutual funds when the market's gone down? Because you're buying more units at a lower NAV, which reduces your purchases.
And whenever there's a correction, and if you're selling at that time, you end up gaining more out of those.
you end up actually losing because your NAVs, if you sell when the markets fall, the NAV is
Then NAV
reduced.
is down. Yeah,
Yeah,
but
and
if you purchase when the markets are down,
sure.
and then you sell those units later,
you get a
end up-
bigger gain
yeah.
because you bought it at a lower price.
Right,
So,
right.
so yeah, I mean, in summary, just NAV, the starting price of an NAV doesn't matter. It can be 10, 100, 1,000.
Right.
What matters is the growth of the NAV
Right.
from the time you bought it.
Right.
In bad markets, if you buy more, you are able to reduce your average NAV and also increase the number of units you have. So if you ever done math, your profits P into Q, the difference into the quantity that you hold.
Okay.
So yeah, and one more suggestion. So I know a lot of you people, and like I'm a procrastinator too. Vinita,
I never even began.
Yeah, but everyone tends to do their tax saving investments at the very last moment, which is in say February or March. Just a suggestion that I have is I would say use this time when the market's fallen, when the NAVs are lower, to buy your tax saving investments now rather than in Feb or March, where they may or may not be higher in price. But what I would say is this is a good time to, in any case, invest. And if you haven't done your tax saving investments, definitely do those at today rather than wait until Feb or March to do this.
Absolutely. Cool. I think, guys, we've been able to give you the basic understanding of units and NAVs and how they are correlated to each other. If there's anything else that you wish to ask us, please leave a message in the comments and we'll get back to you. This is us.
Bye.
Bye.